Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host Matt Marrero along with the other host,
Tristan Walter.
And guess what, Tristan Walter? Today it's another Anna Saturday, the first Anna Saturday of the new year, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yay.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we're starting it off on a very somber note. Thankfully everyone's okay, right? No one died. Everyone's fine. The reason why I'm starting off on a somber what was that?
Nothing.
Anyway, no one died. Everyone's alive. The reason why we're starting it off on a somber note, however, is sadly Dragon Ball Super is ending. I assume some of you guys have heard the news. If you haven't, then we're very sorry to have to break it to you now. But sadly, yes, Dragon Ball Super is ending. That is a little sad for us. I'm sure it's sad for you guys as well. We'll talk about it more. We're going to actually have a Keikaku Corner. If you guys know about Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel, we're going to have a Keikaku Corner just like breaking news, despite the fact that it's been like a week since the news has been out, but like a breaking news kind of clip where we're just going to talk about it. So go search up Those Guys on the Radio on YouTube. You can find that clip there. By the time this episode is out, there's a good chance that clip will be out as well. So we'll talk about it more there. And in terms of how it'll affect the show and what will come up maybe after the show is over, we'll discuss that when we get closer to the end of the series itself. Because we still have about, according to some of the rumors online, we have about 8 episodes left. So
right.
I think we can wait. That's like, to kind of talk about like, oh God, like, as if our hair's on fire. Like, it's ending. We can wait a couple episodes. I feel like right now we have to talk about, 118 to 123. So maybe let's talk about 118 to 123 before we start talking about 131 and onward,
Yeah.
Yeah. But so how did you feel about this batch of episodes? And also, did the news of it ending, the show ending, did that spoil this batch of episodes for you at all?
I mean, I had watched all of them before I heard the news. So it didn't like spoil it, or like not spoil, but it didn't damper anything for me. Not like I'm happy to see it go, but at the same time, I don't think this is the end. Like, it'll be the end for this arc, but not the end in general. So, yeah, this batch of episodes was kind of a mixed bag for me. There were points where I'm like, all right, this is cool, I can get into this. And then there are other points where I'm like, oh, here we go again. And that, like, I don't know, sad to say it, but that's kind of how this tournament has felt to me overall. I've gone from this is hype to why and back and forth.
And here's the thing. I can't disagree with you. I think I'm going to disagree with you on what, because it feels very hard, to my opinion, it feels very hard for you to be not happy with an elimination, because obviously we don't want people from Universe 7 being eliminated, but it feels like every time there's an elimination, you're like, but that guy could have been there longer. And other than Krillin, because that was like the earliest. Like, even if I think that something had to happen soon, Krillin being eliminated that early is like, ooh, that hurt me. I'll admit. I'll be very honest with you. Yes. In hindsight, now that we've gone through it, it hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
It just
now that
feels
we've gone
like
through
almost, it just feels like almost every elimination for Universe 7. Like, some of the other guys felt like Universe 6 and, a few of the other Warriors, it felt like they had a decent ring out. And, I can't go into specifics. Well, I could go into specifics, but I won't just for this moment. But, like, it feels like for Universe 7, almost every one of their ring outs has just felt lackluster to me. I mean, the only one that I was okay with, or the only one that I enjoyed, and I thought, you know what? They got their time in the spotlight, we good, was Roshi. Because that came out of fucking nowhere.
Right. No, yes. Well, because I think it's very hard to take a universe as strong as the one that we've been following and have it be something like of fucking, Kamehameha versus Kamehameha every single ring out.
Yeah. And I
Because,
mean, I don't
Krillin's
necessarily do that each time either, but
no, but it's hard to make it. Well, that was bullshit. Even though I still will defend it, it's still bullshit compared to like what we've had, like everything that's happened thus far. I still think like, man, would have been nice to have a little bit more Krillin in this.
Yeah. Would have been nice to have more Tien than that too.
Yes, especially because it felt like Tien was really training hard.
Yeah.
So it felt like Tien could have had a Roshi-type moment as well. Although he technically did. But I know he technically did, everybody. But I think we got... I don't know. He got a lot more than Krillin did, though. Let's be real.
No, I'm going to have to disagree with that. Sorry.
Wait, so you're telling me that Tien and Krillin got eliminated in the same episode? Are we really doing this right now?
Not in the same episode, but just because Tien was in the tournament longer doesn't mean he got a good send-off either. He didn't. He got, but he all that much.
He got more than Krillin, is what I'm saying. I'm literally saying he did more than Krillin did, and you're saying no, he didn't.
I'd say they're about even.
Didn't he fight a sniper?
Yeah, I was not okay with that fight.
All right, that's a different story then. But that was better than Krillin. Everyone literally said, "Ha, fuck you, Krillin," when he got eliminated. True. Everyone was like, "Wow, Tien, you are a warrior."
Right. Okay, that's true.
There we go. We're gonna retread old eliminations yet. We can do that near the end of the series. But no, I feel like it's very hard for me to like, because I feel like here's the thing too, right? I'm not saying that certain things aren't bullshit. Like I'll agree with you, but it's very hard to. First off, I'm happy Gohan wasn't eliminated. I thought he was gonna get eliminated in this batch of episodes. I'm truly shocked that he wasn't. And frankly, I think you even said to me off podcast, you would have been okay if he got eliminated defending Piccolo.
Yeah, that would have been a nice touch.
Okay, good. So then that would have been something at least. But interestingly enough, he's kept going, and I think they're using him very well. It's hard to use him to his fullest potential because you can't have him pulling out blueprints and telling everyone what to do in the midst of like someone completely annihilating their shit.
Yeah,
right. Like,
and I mean, everyone else that would actually, listen to Gohan at this point is already out, so that's kind of done.
No, they're listening to him. It's just there's not much he can say when it's just like, okay, guys, we have to split up. Well, don't worry, someone punching you all in the fucking face will send you flying.
Right, that's true.
So so like Gohan is saying things like, okay, guys, let's split up and punch him. And Goku's like, wow, that's a great plan. And it's kind of like, yes.
My God, I'm speechless.
Yeah, my God, I'm speechless. That's a joke everyone will understand soon when we release that video on those guys' play. But in all seriousness, right? It's really hard to make such a good plan when it's just in the midst of battle, like everyone's just beating each other. But okay, so one thing I want to mention though, do you think? Now we know that there's 8 episodes left. So now that we know the exact amount of episodes left, maybe it's not too soon, but I thought it was too soon for Universe 6 to be eliminated.
Well,
now that I see the pacing, I know that it wasn't, but something in my head feels like it was too soon for them. If you want to talk about, it's funny. I know you're talking about bullshit ring outs, but if you're talking about people not getting their moment in the sun, Universe 6, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean,
I gotta be honest. With you, man. I think the only reason why, just briefly saying this because you mentioned it a little bit earlier, the only reason why I would think that this, if not Super itself, just these characters and like all together aren't done, is because Universe 6 felt like they got zero return or very little return for as much investment or time that was invested in them.
Yeah.
Very little returns.
Yeah.
I know Caulifla, to be fair, but with Kava and Kefla, it felt like there wasn't much there.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. So that's the only reason why I would say that while it seems like we're done here for now, I think it's more of a for now rather than a forever or for 20 years. But
right,
yeah. But anyway, but back to the story itself though. I thought Universe 6 got eliminated too quick, but then after seeing how everything else went, maybe I'm wrong. What's your take on that?
I mean, I definitely think Chaba got gypped for fights, definitely. I wanted to see more from Hit. I liked that he got to go up against Jiren, and that was really cool, and he tag teamed with Goku, so I'm happy we got that. Obviously, Kalfa was amazing. That was probably my favorite part of the tournament. Like, even when they had that big Goku versus Jiren, no, my favorite was him and Kalfa.
Right, but do you think that they were taken out too quickly, or now that you've seen the rest of this batch of episodes, you think it was just right?
I mean, I think it was an all right time at that point. It wasn't. I mean, what else were they really gonna do? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, it's rough because it's really hard to think about what they could have done. After that, it's really rough because I feel like some of the pacing though is a little confusing because it feels like they really ramp some things up out of nowhere and like certain fights, and then they kind of run away from it. And it's not even about Goku versus Jiren again. It's more so like, kind of just pulling things out of nowhere where it's kind of like, oh, there's an invisible fighter, and I'm like, really? No one noticed invisible guy?
With
all
Universe
this time
4.
he's been super duper invisible. He's been so super fucking duper invisible.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
when there were fucking all those universes, no one bumped into an invisible dude and was like, well, hey everybody, this is fucking weird.
I mean, they might not have realized,
I'm talking about every single universe. I'm not talking about like just ours. Like, think about how many people were on the arena at one point when there wasn't any terrain blocking anything. It was just the straight arena.
Yeah.
There was just an invisible dude, just like, I can't make a sound. I will. And it's not even like he's super skinny either. Like Kava, he was a fucking chameleon.
Right.
No one fucking tripped over a chameleon's tail at all. No one was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I like his power. Also, I love the callback. Roshi's like, bleed on him!
Right. That was hilarious, yeah.
And I was like, oh. You know what's even stranger? If I remember correctly, in the anime, he actually didn't bleed on the Invisible Man. Because in the manga, he did. Because in the manga, Krillin brought Bulma over, pulled her top down, and Roshi literally had a nosebleed onto the Invisible Man. Why? Because in the 80s, that's children's humor. And it was. In the 80s, that is children's Japanese. It was so interesting, though, because in the later Viz re-editions in America, they gave Bulma a bra. I have the original English translation. She did not have a bra.
Right.
Ha, ha, ha. Classic comedy. Anyway, so in the anime, though, and I saw this on Toonami as well, so it's not even like this was a Toonami re-edit because they didn't, like, redraw the whole fucking scene. They actually threw red paint on the Invisible Man because I guess even though it's like, quote-unquote comedy, that gag manga nudity doesn't translate to the anime.
Right.
Like, not like the English version, just in general. Like, even that scene in the beginning of Dragon Ball where Bulma pulls up her skirt and there's nothing there, and Roshi's like, by fucking God! And Turtle's like, fucking Turtle! And They were both like, "Dear fucking Lord." Basically, oh God, could you imagine? Just Roshi like, "By God, Turtle, by God." Kami's like, "What's going on now? By me." And so, but in all seriousness, right? That scene didn't happen that way, if at all, in the original anime adaptation. Because holy shit, no, right?
Right.
So the reason why I bring it up though is because technically Roshi referenced a scene that wasn't even in the actual anime, funnily enough. But it's still something that everyone knows, like what was supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah.
That it's so interesting. I love how the writers and the animators clearly are super nerds for Dragon Ball as a whole.
Mhm.
And you can tell. I mean, you and I have even mentioned before, like when Yamcha got hit so hard by the fucking baseball that he was in the same position that he died in by a Cyberman.
Right. I mean, even Piccolo. They even have Piccolo and Krillin comment on it and be like, "This is strangely familiar." It's like, yeah, it's bringing back bad memories. Oh.
But the reason I bring it up is because not only was that Roshi line kind of funny, like, oh God, I remember that, but when Piccolo was going to get hit by that energy beam from the Namekians, when Piccolo it looked like he's getting hit, his close-up shot with the white flash in the background is like when he took the blast for Gohan, when Gohan was a kid, Nappa's blast. And I was sitting there and I'm like, wow, these animators and these writers really grew up on Dragon Ball. Like, you can tell.
Yeah.
That they appreciate what they're working on.
Right.
So I think,
and that's good.
No, very definitely. Like, I know people complain about the animation, and I'm not saying that their complaints are unwarranted. There is some very interesting body model stuff, even in these batch of episodes, that I was like, that's a body. It's certain shots of like Piccolo and Vegeta that I'm like, those are bodies, but I don't know if it's theirs.
Right.
But even with that, I still like the little touches here and there that, like, again, like, Piccolo's face, or one thing that I was super interested about that I guess they brought it up because of the fact that they brought it up with the Namekians as well. But I never realized that in canon, because this never happened in canon before. I never realized that in canon, the Namekians that you absorb, right, like the energy you absorb, they stay with you.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was always supposed to be their consciousness kind of fades into yours, so I guess you don't really notice them much, or, I mean, it would probably just make it easier for the series, too, not having to have Piccolo talking to himself at points.
Yeah, no, that's why I said in canon that never happened. Of course, that's been in the abridged canon. That really, the abridged series has had that. Which, by the way, I have a strange feeling that every person who works on Dragon Ball Z, the abridged series, and I mean from the voice actors to the guys in the graphic design team, saw Kami pointing at Gohan, and they were like, oh, we're going to dub the fuck out of this. I mean, that must have been pleasing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, but it's interesting, though, because, again, in canon, they've never really shown, like, the only thing that they referenced in canon was, and I don't know if it was a dub thing or not, but I would imagine it wasn't, when Piccolo first, I remember watching this when I was a kid, and I haven't really seen much of even though I have all of the Orange Brick DVDs, don't judge me, fan base, I have the Orange Brick DVDs, I haven't gone back and watched the entire series subbed. I've only seen clips here and there. But the reason why I bring it up is because I remember when Piccolo first appeared after the fuse with Nail was the actual term for Dragon Ball Z Budokai. But when he absorbed Nail and he's there, Dende's like, yo, your ki reminds me of Nail. And Piccolo was like, that actually makes sense. I absorbed Nail. And Dende was like, oh shit, Nail, that's fucking awesome.
Right.
And that's basically how it went down, word for word, on Toonami. Word for word.
Right. Got it.
No, but that's clearly. No, but that was the only kind of way they've ever referenced it. Like, your key resembles, the person's key that I know, which in that case was Nail, or even later when Piccolo fused with Kami, and obviously Jiro had never fucking met Kami, never knew a god ever fucking existed, right? So when Cell meets Piccolo, he's like, you're Piccolo, but, like, you're also not. What's that about?
Right.
That was it. That was the only, like, they...
Right. The only nods to that actually happening, right.
Yeah, the only nods. But other than that, they never really, like, shown that the existence of a Namekian who becomes absorbed is ever really there, other than just, the key being there. Very interesting stuff that they kind of brought that into canon now. I don't consider that a retcon necessarily, because we've never really had to be near Piccolo for long amounts of time, so we've never really had to know.
Right.
Like, whether or not he sees them or feels them or anything like that. Also, I would argue he hasn't been in that many near-death situations since absorbing them.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, obviously he's died, yes, or he's, like, been in fights, but I don't think he's been in any situations where he's had to see them being like, maybe as he's being, like, turned to stone, they're like, oh, God damn it.
Right, yeah.
But, like, I can't think of a situation where he would need to see them, where we'd need to see, like, a Kami guiding the way, or, like, Nail in the background or something. So we don't really need to see that. Like, he's been in fights, but nothing that major since Namek, really, I would argue. So, interesting stuff, I think, to add that to the canon. And also, it definitely explains why two random Namekians would be so powerful. I mean, yes, the Namekians aren't really a people that fight. Only a few are chosen to fight. But you absorb everyone on the planet. You're going to be tough.
Right. I mean, that's what it felt like, too.
And it's pretty cool, I think. It's a great concept.
Yeah.
Like, we're Namekians. We can absorb people. So our entire planet was like, let's do this. If it's for our survival as a universe,
let's do it. Right. Yeah, I'm glad that those two Namekians finally got a bit of spotlight, because I really wanted to see that fight, because I'm like, finally, other Namekians from another universe. Yes, let's do this.
Yeah, I think, because here's the thing, too. I wanted them to get that backstory, because I was kind of just confused that, like, we're Namekians from another universe, but because we're from another universe, we're stronger. There's no other reason, really. We're just from a stronger universe. That's all. It's like, okay.
I mean, maybe their Namek was a little more focused on their warrior people than their, Dragon Ball making people or their healers.
No, but they didn't have to be.
Or maybe they didn't have a huge route. Yeah,
that's the thing. You don't have to. That's the thing, though. You don't have to be focus on as a warrior race when you absorb the entire planet.
Right.
Because it felt like, oh no, I am the strongest. I am also the strongest. We are the strongest of the strongest. It's like, okay, like, I don't know. It's nice to have that backstory of, it's not that they're weak, but you take the entire planet.
Yeah.
When you absorb an entire planet's worth of people, you're going to get more powerful. And
we finally get to see somebody using stretchy arms again, too, because that's still a thing.
Yes. Yes. Also the regeneration, too.
Yeah.
Like the arms.
Although I have their arms blown off. Well,
I gotta be honest.
And always getting both arms blown off.
It was fucking weird. One arm is okay. Two arms is terrifying.
I mean, like, maybe switch it up to a leg? I don't know.
I know. It was just really awkward, especially seeing the arms on the floor. I was like, guys, Jesus.
It's just always arms. And I'm like, all right. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, are we just going to go back and forth blowing each other's arms off? Is that what this is going to be? Is this a Namekian custom? Like, is it like tag with explosives?
Basically. Also, I hope that on the DVDs, Blu-rays, we get some green blood. Nothing crazy. It just feels really weird that, Yeah, no, didn't it feel weird that it was just completely like the wound was like what, cauterized, every single wound, Namekian wound is just a black hole?
Yep. I mean, just like rabbits. I mean, that's what happens, Matt. Like, when you lose a limb or you get a hole in your chest, it's a black hole. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's just biology.
Wrong. Remember, Tristan. I feel like I'm trying to, you hit your head on a rock or something. The game was like just some. Well, actually, no. The game wasn't even a black hole. The game was Budokai was actually a red hole. It's Kai that had the black hole. In the box sets that you and I have, Raditz coughs up blood like a motherfucker.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How fucking dare you? I will sit you down with your own sets. Because it was unnecessarily bloody.
Yeah, I think that was pretty necessary. I mean, he got a hole blasted through him. That kind of makes sense to me.
But it was like but the thing is, him and Goku was like, it wasn't just the hole; it was just the mouth too. It's like, all right, guys, I get it. You're dying.
I mean,
it was a lot. But it was a lot. There's a difference between there's blood in your mouth versus like.
It's also anime. You have a gallon of blood for every punch you take.
That's true. No, but that's the thing. That's why I feel like you make blood green, because it's okay to show it if it's green.
Right. I always thought Piccolo's was purple.
Sorry, it was purple. No, you're right. It was purple. It was made green in the Ocean dub, or Funimation's original, Saban's, whatever you want to call it, whatever company you want to call it, because it's technically Funimation, Saban, and Ocean.
Yeah.
But yeah, that original dub, it was green. You're correct. It's supposed to be purple. So this batch of episodes for me as well, it was topsy-turvy. The pacing was a little weird. I am happy that they focused on the Namekian fight, yes. I'm happy that it seems like Frieza's getting more involved, because also another thing too, by the way, I'm happy that because Frieza has been kind of laying dormant, he seems to be the strongest just by sheer energy conservation.
Right.
Well, but I think that's a good thing to point out, like at least to see in the show, where like it doesn't, just because let's say Gohan gets eliminated, right, or 17 gets eliminated. Well, 17 would be weird because he has unlimited stamina, but when you look at someone like Vegeta, right, if Vegeta gets eliminated next, I'm not going to sit here and call bullshit necessarily, because of the fact that he's been in this fucking tournament since the beginning. They all have, obviously, but you know what I'm saying? So, like, anyone who gets eliminated next, unless someone trips and falls or something, I'll admit that'd be bullshit, you know. I tripped on a rock, right? Unless they trip on a rock. Yeah. But, like, if Toppo, you know, hits Gohan or something, I don't know, like, what can happen next, but, like, if someone gets hit and gets eliminated, and it might seem like it was too easy, we have to think back, like, it's been a long tournament.
No, I know. At this point, it's got to, like, I guess, I mean, it's got to happen, so it is what it is, you know.
Well, not even like it's got to happen. More so like it's funny that this is the speaking of out of nowhere bringing up WWE, but because of like we're thinking of the Battle Royale, it's like a Battle Royale rules. There's something called the Royal Rumble, which I don't know if you know what. Do you know what the Royal Rumble is, Tristan, or no?
You may have mentioned it before, but.
All right. If anyone doesn't know WWE rules, there's a yearly event called the Royal Rumble. And at the Royal Rumble, basically it's a 30-person battle royale over the top rope. So what they do is they call people in every, like, minute and a half, right? So it starts off with 2 people in the ring. They call someone in every minute and a half. And the idea is throw someone over the top rope, and they lose if both feet touch the floor, right, at the outside of the ring. And they have to go over either the top rope or the second rope. So anyway, what ends up happening is the Royal Rumble is sometimes, and very rarely, the person who enters first might actually end up winning the whole thing. Because what may end up happening is they may be so dead in the corner for like 10, 15 minutes that everyone else is busy beating each other up. They don't pick up that one person to throw them off, because you pick up that one person, focus on them, you're close to the edge, someone can throw you off too.
Right.
So it's kind of funny how those Battle Royale rules turned into the Royal Rumble for WWE, and now here have kind of come back around to work in this Tournament of Power. So I bring it up only because it's interesting sometimes because Freeze has been playing the role of the bad guy who, and this will happen too sometimes, Tristan, someone who's been in the Rumble since either the beginning or very early on, they'll slide under the bottom rope and hide and wait.
Right.
Because they lose when they go over the top rope.
Yeah.
So they'll actually willingly roll under the bottom rope, wait, and then it'll be like, hey, everybody, yeah, this is the winner, and then slide in and then throw the guy off. So it seems like Freeze has been trying to, yes, and then it's like, oh, fuck you. So it seems like Frieza is pulling off that role of waiting, but because he's so strong, it's interesting to see him go up against people because normally I'd sit back and think, really? Frieza's that powerful? Really? But it's like, wait, Matt, he hasn't been fighting as much as literally everyone else.
Right.
In fact, to be fair here, as much as I love Vegeta, it feels a little bit bullshitty, just a little tiny bit. I love him. But just like with Goku being able to come back so strong, it feels really. I mean, obviously, if Goku can do it, Vegeta has to as well. To be fair in that regard, too. But it just feels so strange that you have Vegeta being like I know he gets pissed. And when you get Vegeta pissed, the Prince of all Saiyans, he goes nuts. I get it.
You get the final flash.
But I love yes. But I loved how you just had Whis being like, oh, wow. So basically, I guess because of the fact that, Jiren questioned Vegeta's pride, Vegeta is now Super Saiyan Blue 2, Saiyan Blue 2.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, he is, apparently.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they didn't give it a name. It was just but here's what's okay. So this made me laugh really hard, though. The fact that I pissed myself a little bit because when Vegeta turns into this like Super Saiyan Blue 2, whatever you want to call it, right? He was really buff. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
it feels like the super form from the Cell Saga.
That's why I was like, oh no, I was like, he's going to fuck up again. No.
Yeah, right.
No. Don't worry, Jiren. I'm super strong. In fact, I traded strength for speed. Cells in hell should have chosen me.
Oh, my God. Next thing you know, Jiren's just going to snap Vegeta's spine.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, good job. Good job, buddy. You can't fuck up again.
You just hear Future Trunks. I have a strange sense of deja vu, and I don't know why. I'm not even... Where is this even coming from?
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, it's just... Ooh, that hurts. Yeah, I think that was no bueno. No bueno. I mean, it's also another thing, too, by the way. I know we can't have Jiren being like, oh, God, like on his knees, like that was terrible. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's something, not just about Jiren, but also the other random fucking Super Android 7500 fucking that came out of nowhere. I feel like, maybe it's just me, but it feels like out of nowhere, for some reason, Super is trying, like, I don't know, man. Maybe we were just blinded when we were younger, but it felt like every time a new villain came out of nowhere, it wasn't actually out of nowhere, or it was out of nowhere for the arc, but it was okay because maybe that main villain just had some random henchmen to come around. But it feels like with both Jiren and, Super Android over 9000 here, it got to the point where I was like, all right, this is too much. When the android punches through time and space, I'm like, okay, guys, please, can we slow down for a second?
With the robots fusing and the doctor fusing with them, too?
But it wasn't just that. It was after that, then it punched through time and space.
I mean, I thought that was I mean, yeah, it seemed to come out of nowhere, but I thought it was really cool because all I could think of was Janemba.
No, here's the thing. I like it from that perspective. It's funny. I thought of something different. Recently, there was a show, and I say recently as if it wasn't 5 years ago. Please stop me from aging, Kristen. Please. But this was 5 years ago. There's a show called Common. I'll send you the clip. It's a show called Kamen Rider Wizard, and he basically has a magical spell that can essentially put his hand through space and time, and like it slams down or it punches down.
Right.
And it becomes larger. So when he did that, I was like, well, Toei made Wizard 5 years ago.
Right.
And it was just kind of funny to me on a different level. But you're right, Janemba, which is kind of, this is one thing I like about this Tournament of Power that I know we've mentioned before. This, Toei has a really good way, or the writers, we mentioned like how, like jokingly they're nerds and they really love Dragon Ball Z. They definitely have looked towards the movies for a lot of inspiration for their, not just character designs, but for people's powers, their move sets, and a bunch of other things that I think are they're really cool, like, references to their own work that technically isn't canon. So I love it. Yeah. But the reason why for me it came out of nowhere is because to me it seems like it's a magical power and this is supposed to be a robot made of like, science.
Yeah.
So it's, and also the fact that, okay, I don't want to say this out loud because I feel like it's a really stupid thing to say, but I'm going to say it and I'm not going to stick to it completely. There's something about original Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball was based in magic and mythos and stuff like that, and mythical stuff, but something about Dragon Ball Z that felt like, okay, we're doing science fiction here, but there's still, it's fiction, but there's science. Like, it wasn't like Goku was going to get into a spaceship, fly into space, and be like, wait a minute, now I'm in a parallel dimension.
Right, yeah.
But it feels like with this random one-off monster, this is why I don't really, or, Fusion, which is why I really am not a big fan. I think this is the worst thing in Super thus far, because it felt like it was like, oh, they're really strong, and oh no, we have to use this plan, and we're going to fuse together, and then, oh no, we have to fuse with Dr. Pepperoni. And then they do. By the way, his name is Pepperoni. He's literally based off pepperoni. This is Toriyama. It's food.
Yeah.
He's clearly pepperoni. So
and that's what gave him
like
such an ultimate power boost, Matt.
That is true. Pepperoni would do
he
that.
Put the ultimate topping onto his android. Well, they're not androids. They're specifically. I think they're specifically robots, but just because I feel
but
17 would be like, hey.
Well, hey, his android instincts. He said it himself. He has his android instincts. That was why he knew that the locator would be there. He was like, as an android, I imagine.
Oh, my God. No, I would feel like that would harken more back. It's like I watch Wild Animals all the time. I've seen stuff that uses, maybe not, a giant jewel on their forehead, but, like, I've seen other things behave like this, so it makes sense that it's, something to do with its senses. I feel like that would have made more sense, at least for me, but whatever.
But anyway, what matters is that clearly they I'm not saying that the giant fusion wasn't a problem. I actually enjoyed the fact that it seemed very much like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
But it was though. Let's be honest here. He was so large, and the way he ran at them, they acted like they were literally like, oh no, we're fighting a Titan.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say jokingly, it kind of makes me think of Hirudegarn now too. Even the face, like his mouth and his fangs, kind of look.
Oh, that's interesting because I saw Hatchiak, at least in its original smaller form.
Yes, I saw that too. I was gonna say that too.
Yeah. Yes, he reminded me a lot of Hatchiak. But the thing with Hirudegarn was. Yes, the thing with Hirudegarn is probably because they could fly, but it felt like it was more like a giant bug trying to swat them. Its design was pretty much a fucking huge ass bug. But when you look at this, monster, it just seemed like a giant Titan that could just football, like just running back its way through all of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason why I say, like, oh, it felt like one of the worst things, and it's really hard to say that when I think of, some of what happened with Trunks, well, not Trunks himself, but in the arc with Goku Black and with Zamasu. Even though some of that was a little iffy, and you and I had our problems with that, the reason why I think this fight, to me, with this giant android became the worst for me personally is just like, it just felt like it took it out of nowhere. It just took something who sort of won or something who I thought, I'm not saying couldn't be a threat. I'm not saying that it can't be a threat. But it took it and just raised the bar so fucking high that I was just like, could you maybe lead it to Jiren? Perhaps? Yeah. No, because it felt like this was the biggest threat since, like, it felt like just, fucking Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu were like, we're going to fuse.
Oh, God. I mean,
no, because
they were coming after Universe 7 specifically, too, so they're, Jiren and the Pride Troopers are 11. Yeah, so they're like, so we're just going to take on whoever wins this.
Yes. No. Yeah, I'm not saying that the Pride Troopers had to help, because obviously if Jiren helped, it would have been One Punch Man, really. One Punch Jiren.
Yeah.
But, no, I'm just saying, that, yeah, okay. It was one of those things where normally, it's funny, I have to take a step back and be like, well, we're able to think about this, quote unquote, rationally because, we're not in the moment. We're not battle fatigued. We're just watching this on our TVs. But I felt like with all of Gohan's amazing plans, it should have been like, okay, how about we take the big thing and the fact that it likes to run at us repeatedly, maybe we lure it towards the other big guy, i.e. Jiren, and maybe we let them duke it out. And now, granted, beautiful moment having like a 5-way huge attack to take out this giant monster. Not saying that was bad at all. That was a beautiful end. It just kept on.
When the light started to envelop him, I thought for a split second it was going to be like, guys, we accidentally killed him. Oh no.
That confused me, because I'd be like, who gets blamed? Everyone looks at Frieza. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, jeez.
No, because literally all 5 of them have been eliminated. Go home.
Right. I did enjoy the cross beams of Goku and Gohan too for the Kamehamehas. It kind of had a father-son Kamehameha feel to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did, and that was a beautiful moment. That was such a beautiful moment. I really did like it. I think, though, the one thing that I don't like about the animation for any of these beams, really, is that they end up enveloping the person in a way that normally would kill them. So, it doesn't usually show them surviving the blast or falling away or something, or like a little tinkle. It's just like a little ding, like Team Rocket's blasting off again. It just shows them getting enveloped in the blast, and you're like, are they gonna get disqualified for murder? And then they show up in the bleachers, and I'm like, no, you died.
Right.
Just like you mentioned with the android being, where I was like, did it die? And then they show up in the bleachers. We're sorry for dying because you're dead. When did you survive that? Where did you go? But going back to that android thing for a second, it just kept on gaining new powers, and it kept on becoming more and more bullshit, where I feel like, literally it could have been like, someone could have said, wait a minute, I could go on the inside to rip it to pieces, and the android would be like, actually, there's acid inside of me that I can apply by blinking. Like, it felt like super convoluted, where it was like 1 minute it's like, oh, I'm running towards you, and I'm like, it's formidable. Then it's like, oh, you can't fight back if I eat you, and I'm like, that, technically, if it doesn't destroy you in the inside, it's just holding you there.
Right.
not a bad move, right? I was like, okay, that's fine. I can punch through space.
He'd go through science.
Yes.
He'd go all sciencey on him. Like, we
yeah,
need to dismantle it. Wait, what are you talking about? Well, here's what I think.
Yeah, right? But it was so strange because it was...
Source. Like, him and 17 could have, like, collabed on that. That would have been interesting.
That would have been cool, dismantling it from the inside, right?
Yeah.
But it was so strange to me that it was just like, you know, again, like, oh, I'm going to try to eat them. All right, fair. I'm going to punch through space. Okay. By the way, I will never use this power again for the remainder of the fight.
Yeah.
When you tell me I can punch into the floor and my punch will hit you from somewhere else, and you conveniently forget to do that while you're doing a big power beam to the... Can you imagine as it's trying to blow up all 5 of them and they're attacking him back, he couldn't have just punched air and hit them all in the face.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to introduce a power that he doesn't use 5 minutes later? Like,
I don't know. I think for me it was kind of a mixture of it was cool enough that I'm like, all right, whatever, and also equal parts of kind of spacing out.
That's the problem. If you spaced out, then that's really not good. But it is funny, though, because I have to admit, though, I didn't space out during the fight, but I think you spaced out in a way that I usually do when I watch tokusatsu, when there's too much CGI and too many giant things going on.
Mm.
Like, as much as I watch Super Sentai, and there's giant robots in there and giant monsters, I actually, as much as the mechs are cool, I kind of prefer a Kamen Rider one-on-one fight.
Right.
Like, just as, like, two human-sized beings. And I actually kind of zone out when Kamen Rider gets all mech-heavy with a bunch of CGI, like, battleships and stuff. I actually zone out really quick, and it's hard to try to get me back in. It's like, Matt, come on, stay with us. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just too much CGI. So maybe, like, just the fact that it was just a giant monster and not much punching, maybe that caused you to zone out in a fight that, in a Tournament of Power that has a lot of punching and a lot of cool techniques. And it kind of just turned into this mass attack fest.
Right.
So maybe that caused you to zone. But the thing, also, by the way, let me just, like, the punching thing, all right, you want me to get over it, not you personally, but the fans, I'll get over it, right? If you guys want me to get it, fine. Why the fuck did it grow wings? Why the fuck was it in midair? What the fuck?
Why not, man? Why not?
What the fuck?
Why does it
like, it just felt like
and threaten to destroy all of humanity? Wait a minute.
Like, but here's the thing. Once it's a giant being that can fly, why is it not just, like, fucking gonna... Like, if I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, you can fly. Maybe it can't fly, it can only hover, perhaps. But it seems like it could fly. Why are you not just going to fly by and eat them all then?
I think it was trying to destroy the stage when it was flying. I could be wrong, but...
You're right. That was a good point. It was like, oh, this beam can go through the stage. But then why not destroy other parts of the stage? It just seemed like it was very gung-ho on attacking them personally. And I'm not saying how to attack the Pride Troopers. I'm just saying that it was just so strange and illogical, despite the fact that it was a robot. 3 robots and 1 human, which is a great sitcom, by the way. I was a little frustrated. Also, speaking of frustration, getting onto something that I think you had a very good point. I didn't think about this, but I loved you talking about this before the podcast began. You were very upset about Piccolo's elimination. Could you explain that to all of us? Because I actually really enjoyed your explanation on why you were upset. This one I actually give you 100%. Not the fact that he had to be eliminated, but why he was eliminated. So can you talk to us about that?
Right. Yeah, you know, I know everybody's going to get eliminated at some point, but it seems to be that recurring fact of especially with Universe 7, when they do get eliminated, it's for the stupidest things. And like,
but can you
Piccolo,
explain why?
For Piccolo it hurts so much because it's an invisible fighter, or what they think to be, because first it was an actual invisible fighter. They defeat it, then they thought, oh, there's another invisible fighter, but he's not actually invisible. He's just very small. So they couldn't see him because he was moving so fast. And 17 is the one who picks it up because he sees the dust trail it's leaving behind. But Piccolo was run out by this fighter. And the reason that it annoys me so much is because Piccolo is Namekian and has amazing hearing. You're telling me he couldn't hear him?
Yes. Now,
and pinpoint him through there?
Yes. Now, I think, yes, exactly. Because, yes, he said himself, oh, I clearly was focusing far too much on his energy rather than his movements, but it's not a normal human here. You have super hearing.
That also annoyed me. Yeah, that also annoyed me too, because Piccolo is just as much a tactician. I mean, where do you think Gohan gets it from? Piccolo was the original tactician. Piccolo is the one who doesn't, he takes in his opponent as much as he can before he goes in to finally figure out how to take them out.
I know. I look at it as he's just tired.
No, I know. Yes, that's definitely a factor, but
No. I'm only saying that in terms of you're saying he's a master tactician. I'm like, yes, he's tired. But that doesn't mean that he should be able to forego his super hearing.
Right. Or focus specifically on, he says, oh, I was focusing too much on their energy. That feels kind of out of character for Piccolo. I don't think he would focus on one thing so much that he'd forget, wait, maybe I could do something else to find them. I don't know.
Again, I look at him being tired. But again, he has super hearing. That's something that shouldn't go away.
Yeah. And I mean, it looked like the character from Universe 4, they look like a little bug person. So it's like you're telling me you didn't hear wings flapping or anything rushing past you as it was punching you? Really, Piccolo? Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of interesting as well because I mentioned earlier, how did no one notice an invisible person? How did no one kill the bug?
Or even just accidentally and not have known. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
A lot going on. I mean, I know you had said before the podcast, even before the arena got busted up and there were places to hide and all of that. Yeah, they have all the warriors standing. It's so you guys only have 8 fighters? Where are your other 2? Nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about as well. It's funny though. I'm pretty sure that Universe 7 made reference to that actually. I'm pretty sure they were like, wow, they don't even have 8 fighters. I'm pretty sure someone said that. But obviously the kids didn't because they're on the kids list.
Right. Yeah.
But no, but it's just funny though because could you imagine just literally you have was it who's Whis' dad? I forgot what's the name of the
the Grand Priest
specific.
Yes. I can't. I don't know if he was actually named, but yeah, the Grand Priest.
All right. The Grand Priest. Could you just imagine Jiren is eliminated. Just Jiren stepped on the bug.
Oh my god.
Could you fucking that would have fucking happened. Jiren would have been fucking eliminated in the first 5 minutes for stepping on a bug. I mean, to be fair, Jiren would know. Jiren be like, there's a bug. There's someone who's invisible. Whatever. So, I don't know. My take on it is, I think that they were cool abilities, and it actually made a lot of sense to have a universe that was, built on those gimmicks, to have people with those gimmicks. It's just, they were gimmicks that shouldn't have lasted throughout the tournament because they would have either been immediately found out or murdered.
Yeah. I feel like Universe 4, that's the one they were from. They should have gone down around with 9 because that's what they relied on, their gimmicks. And
Yeah.
that, and I couldn't stand the God of Destruction from Universe 4, the yellow mouse dude. He just, oh God.
He made me laugh, but like out of anger.
Yeah, it was funny. He was probably the only universe getting erased that I didn't kind of tear up a little bit for. I was just like, no, good riddance, goodbye.
I kind of teared up for Universe 2.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised by that. I was going to mention, like, I was so happy when they were finally wrung out. But and then the last three guys, when they started ganging up on Goku, I'm like, oh great, now we got a bunch of jerks. I'm like, well, can't wait until you're erased. And then they donned the Maiden's powers with their costumes. That was
beautiful.
That was actually really great.
It was funny, but it was, you know what it was, man? It was so funny, but then it's just such bullshit when you have the God of Destruction from that universe being like, it's a miracle based on love. And I'm like, shut up. I don't like that random universes are coming up with miracles out of nowhere. And don't think I'm okay with it from our universe either. Again, Vegeta coming out of nowhere being like, actually, for some odd reason, I was able to see, I mean, granted, he is a Saiyan, so like I understand him learning from seeing Goku get his ass kicked. By the way, fucking hilarious. Like, can you imagine? Vegeta, why are you letting him beat you? Why are you letting him beat me up? I'm learning.
I mean, yeah.
I know it's just really funny, though.
Doesn't feel like that's the first time Vegeta's done that either.
Right?
So
just Goku. I'm getting beaten up here, Vegeta. Shh, Kakarot. I'm learning.
I'm observing.
Yeah, right. Wow, Kakarot, you're such a good teacher. Thanks, Vegeta. Ow!
When they unleashed that the pretty black hole technique, that was kind of interesting. I'm like, oh, they're gonna fall through the stage because it's the weight of their love and the responsibility of their entire universe on their shoulders. Huh. That's
that
an
part.
Interesting way to take that.
Interesting concept, but you want to know how furious I was when I did not have love. I was furious when it's like, we're going to throw this at you. Goku, oh no, if only I could instantly transmit myself elsewhere.
Well, he tried.
He tried in it, but not before it hit him.
True. Well, it is
like,
Goku we're talking about. It's just like Jiren. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll let it hit me. Let's see what. Oh God!
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Jiren seems to be able to back that up a little bit better than Goku.
You know, it was so interesting when Jiren got hit by Vegeta's Final Flash. I know we talked about it a little bit before, but I think it was so interesting because Jiren made a face when he got hit that I thought he actually dodged it.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And then it just turns into, nah, it just hit me, but I'm okay. And they're expecting Vegeta to team up with Goku without a fusion and expecting me to go, this is believable.
I mean, yeah, that seems to have been a problem with balancing with Jiren too, but I was so happy to see Vegeta get a hit in on Jiren, and just his face, just like, you punched me. It's like, oh, ho, 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 is the fight starting to get to you now, Jiren? Huh? That not so perfect after all, smug pretty boy, huh?
That made me laugh my ass off, because it wasn't even like Jiren had a bloody nose. It was just like, I feel like Jiren was like one of those kids where it's like, Mama, Papa, he laid a hand on me without a glove. Why would he do such an atrocity, Mama and Papa?
You just see Jiren, it's like, no one has touched me since my mother held me as a child. I do not know how to feel about this.
Oh my God, just Goku. I wish I knew my mom. Vegeta, wish I knew my mom. Frieza, my mom was kind of rude.
Oh, gee.
I love it though. Just Goku, Vegeta. just so sad. But yeah,
one last thing I wanted to mention from 118. Speaking of so sad, Universe 6 finally, getting erased. I really love the Namekians from there, and they put up a great fight. It was great, but to see Vados kind of lose the making jokes all the time. I mean, she still was, and seeing them, it was great seeing you all you guys, and one after another, them disappearing. Even
Ciampa.
Ciampa. Oh my God, Ciampa got me so hard. I never thought he ever would, but just the fact that he's it's my last second. What am I gonna do? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna flip off my brother one last time. Oh, and Beerus.
And then
Beerus just looking away was. Oh, that got me. It really got me. And then Vegeta at the very end. It's when the Kamen Rider's
the
not
Kamen
good,
Rider.
Right? Yeah, the Kamen Rider looking at him. It's you do not want to face me right now. I'm in a terrible mood.
Really? Because this brings up this actually brings up my energy times 300 because I will literally almost kill you. Oh. Because it's not illegal. It's not against
and makes a campfire right there and eats him.
No. Actually, is the little bug okay? Can we confirm that he's doing okay?
Oh my God.
Because Vegeta eats bug people. So is the little bug okay? Are we?
Holy shit.
We have to make sure. But anyway, that was very sad, right? It was. That's why I brought it up earlier. Do you think it was too soon? But no, focusing on the reality of it, the scene itself, very sad. I mean, it's pretty much all but confirmed. I hate to say this because I don't want to, there's obviously, I'm not talking about any spoilers. I'm just giving my honest opinion. I think it's pretty much all but confirmed at this point that we're going to get the universes all wished back to life.
At the very least, it would be 6.
Because you already have 3 people that would do it in a heartbeat, and it's Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan.
Right. Can you just imagine, Vegeta, and he's making the wish? He's no, just bring back 6. Wait, what about all the other? Just 6.
Frieza, look, I was going to kill everything, but even I know that we probably shouldn't bring back Frost.
Oh my God.
Vegeta staring off into the distance. I've made a mistake.
Oh my God. I mean, I feel like they'd be fine. It's literally anyone from 6 or 7 could be Frost, get up, we're going to put you down like a little shit again. I feel like Frieza and Vegeta would both Jonken Poi to be all right, who gets to kill him?
Oh my God. But by the way, I think we should acknowledge. We should really acknowledge. Well, I don't think the bug person, the small little bug, was the dumbest thing ever. Because again, I think the adding on different. No, but it's only dumb when we compare it to what they thought it was. Does someone else here have a time skip ability? Nope, just really tiny.
Right. Oh, it just feels like they've fought so many people with weird. Well, maybe not even so many people, but they've seen all these abilities that are really weird, and the first thing they jump to is the most powerful thing that they could think of because they're all on edge, and it's it must be this. Guys, he's just invisible. I mean, that's still a problem, but chill out. Really don't think time skipping is going to be something everyone can pull out of their ass. But then again, I could be wrong.
But that's the problem with this arc, or at least with this show, is that it feels, more so with this arc, really, not the show itself. The show itself doesn't have this problem. The arc does. It does feel like people are pulling things out of their ass. It feels and here's the thing too, by the way, it feels like at this point in the arc, or at this point in the story, it's not like people are pulling things out of their ass that are literally their ace in the holes. All jokes aside, I know it's funny, but I'm being serious with that statement. I know. It's that people are pulling things out of their ass and then being like, "You thought that's all I had in my ass." Now that was something funny. Now that's something that I want on my grave.
Right.
But
oh my god.
But seriously, you think that's it, and then nope, one more, and you're like, okay, guys, seriously, can we fucking stop? Nope, one more. Okay, really? Are we really doing this right now?
Right.
So that's how I feel. And again, it's not just the bad guys or the opposing teams. It's our heroes.
Right.
It's happening to our heroes too, and I really feel weird about it. Because like with Roshi, I really like stepped aside and I was like, I stepped back and I was like, Matt, come on, it's Roshi. He needs this. Don't just let this happen to Roshi.
Just let him have it.
But now
he's the only one from Dragon Ball that they're letting have something. Just let him have it.
Yeah. But when you look at Goku and Vegeta, I honestly am waiting for like fucking Goku to go like Super Saiyan Rainbow in this fight.
I mean, I'm sure that's going to happen at some point, but
No. It can happen at some point, but I'm waiting for it to happen now. I'm waiting for it to be like, oh. I'm waiting for Whis to be like, why, look at that, Lord Beerus. It seems like he surpassed Ultra Instinct. Is he going Super Saiyan Rainbow? What's Super Saiyan Rainbow? Shut up, Krillin. Yeah, you tell him, old man. Shut up.
It's because Dragon Ball Z usually had it was, you wouldn't necessarily get stronger during the fight. You'd get your ass handed to you first, then you'd come back with Zenkai boost, and then you'd come back stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems
we
Super,
talked about this.
Even since the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament, when Goku and Hit fought each other, it's like they can one-up each other even during the fight. And while one-upping one another during the fight is really nothing new, especially for anime, it doesn't always feel, organic, I guess. It seems forced in places. That's weird to say for Dragon Ball, because it's like, really? You're going to... Is this going to be your point? That's what you're mad about? Why are you even watching this then? But at the same time, I okay with it to the point where I just accept it at this point. And maybe we shouldn't just accept it either, but at the same time, it feels like they're making a point of Goku and Vegeta getting, they're both pushing it. Like we even said, Goku seems to be pushing his limits as far as he can. He's almost training himself while he's actually fighting in this tournament. And that seems to be the only way to unlock Ultra Instinct, which is why with Vegeta's whole new transformation really, for me personally, it looks cool, but I really felt like they were pushing so hard to be like, no, we have to give them different techniques to make things different, that they really gypped Vegeta, because it looks like a blue form, but like I had said before, from the Cell Saga, when he went, Super Saiyan 1.5, not 2, but the really muscly and slow bit. It's like, and now we're adding this to blue. Why is this?
Because he can't get Ultra Instinct, which makes sense.
Right.
But,
Well, it doesn't make sense to me, because I feel like Vegeta should get it too, but just add a different flavor to it. Like, Goku's maybe more defensive with it, and Vegeta's more focused on offense with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Good point. The way I look at it is this, right? With Universe 6 and 7 tournament fight, from what I remember, it felt like Goku just had extra techniques, per usual. It didn't seem like he actually gained as much strength as he did here. It just seemed like Goku knew stuff that he didn't tell people about, which is kind of just normal, in my opinion. That's how it felt, Universe 6 and 7 in the old tournament, that actual tournament. When we jump back to Dragon Ball Z itself, though, with the whole Zenkai boost, stuff like that, I know we've mentioned it on another Super podcast in the past, but just being really brief, it felt more like, even if it got dumb, where Vegeta was like, blast me in the chest, and it was like, are you fucking serious, idiot? You still had Dende there to heal you, or you took a Senzu Bean, or you did the Goku route where you went into an actual machine that was made to heal you in due time, and even though it took you that time to heal. And I know some people still have criticisms like, oh, that's the only way you had to give him a power boost, just by him waiting it out, or oh, you had to have him in the background to take him out of the fight, otherwise he would have died against Frieza immediately. And I understand those criticisms, but there's a difference between you have to heal one way or another, either senzu bean or a healing ability, or through a machine healing you, versus, I mean, could you, and also here's the thing too, by the way, right? I know technically Goku turned Super Saiyan mid-fight, but it was the idea of, it was the anger of, losing a friend that caused him to become Super Saiyan. There's a difference between that versus if he was just fighting Frieza normally and there was no trigger and he just turned Super Saiyan. Putting aside the fact that it was the first major transformation minus Kaioken, that's how it kind of feels here. Like, here, it doesn't seem like there's a catalyst for Goku becoming more powerful. It actually, if I had to compare it to anything, here's what I feel like they've done. They've taken the video game idea of your health can be lower, but you can still raise your ki bar while your health is decreasing.
Right.
It seems like in the background, for some odd reason, they're letting Goku raise his ki bar to a level that allows him to unlock Super Saiyan again, while his health is consistently in the red.
Right. I mean,
it works in a game, but it doesn't. It doesn't work in what seems obviously not real life, but in a anime real world quote unquote. Yeah. Because in a game it makes sense, right? You're like, I can turn Super Saiyan no matter what. I can turn, I can go to this level no matter what. Even if, like let's say it's you and me fighting, right? Like maybe we do another Super Sleepover that people saw and those guys play. You fuck. Oh, maybe if we did that again, I love you. If we did it again, I could deflect your ki blasts, and while you're charging in the background, so am I. But both of us are in the red, about to die. But we both turn Super Saiyan because fuck it, right? One life to live. So we both turn Super Saiyan. It's something that it can happen in the game just fine, but in the show, it just doesn't make sense.
Okay. I mean, for me, it kind of feels like the trigger for me for them to find this power was with Goku, falling into the Spirit Bomb and all that.
No. But after that, not the trigger because that's fine. I'm not attacking the trigger. I'm talking about him then coming back to it again in the same fight later.
Right. Yeah. It seems too close to each other. Like that should have been the end all be all. They should have done that bit later. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, for Vegeta's, it feels like he hasn't gotten that moment until now, which makes sense.
True.
Like for him taking Jiren's blast point blank and trying to, I actually thought Vegeta was going to go like Frieza's route, because that's also a thing that that hasn't been talked about in I don't know how many episodes since before the tournament began, that Frieza can cancel out God energy. I thought Vegeta was going to go that way for a split second when he was trying to condense. It looked like he was trying to condense Jiren's blast, and I'm like, is he going to cancel it out? I thought that would have been really cool, but we didn't get that either. So, again, it would have been a neat way for them to kind of split them, but still have it be equal in a way. I don't know. I guess it's still. I mean, I don't feel like it's still equal here, but
I think they're trying to go the way. I think they're trying to do what you're saying, equal, but like a separate route, but still equal. But it seems like to you they're not, because one is Ultra Instinct and one is just blue. But it seems like it's a blue Super Saiyan 2 type situation. So it's Ascended Blue, where Ultra Instinct is just a new form, but it's still stronger, if you will. And again, it seems like Goku hasn't achieved that again just yet. I'm confused as to why they haven't fused. I know Gogeta isn't canon, but fusion is canon, and fusion dances are canon. So I don't know why they're not looking at each other like, if we need to really work together.
We might go that way because they are starting to work together now, which is kind of like they're tag teaming him. It's like, at the same time, it's like two powers that aren't equal to your opponent doesn't necessarily mean that working together will have you do any better against him. But I mean, hey, it worked against Raditz. I mean, granted, Raditz wasn't as wasn't as good a fighter as obviously Jiren is now. He's too smart to fall for shit like that. But I mean, I'm glad that they're fighting him together now. It feels nice, but even Weiss is kind of saying, like, their tag team, they're not good at it, and they probably, I don't know if they ever will be, and it's weird. That badness is kind of throwing Jiren off. It's like, wow, you two were fighting against me better when you were separate. Why are you coming at me together and doing worse? Wait a minute, now I'm distracting myself.
Well, wait, it's not that they're, okay, I think there's a confusion there. I don't know if you're, like, doing it for dramatic, like, for joking effect. They're fighting well in general, but as a tag team, they don't complement each other, which is throwing Jiren off because Jiren is clearly used to some kind of symmetry.
Okay, yeah.
That's the idea. Jiren is like, oh, I'm used to things being, I know what's going to come next because I can see it because of how you fight. But when Goku and Vegeta, two completely, yes, opposite fighters come together, Jiren's like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
So, which, I mean, it works, I guess. I guess what that means is they have to do the fusion dance wrong and get Veku.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
And he'll kick their ass. He'll kick.
Jiren's just like, I'm not fighting you.
He'll kick. They'll beat the shit out of Jiren because they'll trip. Their ass will hit him in the back of the head, and he'll trip and fall right off the ring. And then it won't just be Universe 7 getting bad eliminations. It'll be Jiren getting eliminated that way.
Oh, if that happens, I quit.
I think they should end Super forever.
Yeah.
It'll happen 2 episodes from now. The other 6 episodes will be a clip show.
Oh my God.
But no, but seriously, I know. But in all seriousness, it would be nice to have some kind of fusion. It's just weird to have them working together, and then like Jiren's gonna punch Vegeta really hard, and then it's gonna be like, oh well, I guess Vegeta really is out of the fight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see what's gonna happen. I mean, I think okay.
I don't know that they're going to fuse, but I think their tag team is what's going to do it because Weiss has been telling them, it's like, wow, if you guys actually work together, you'd be unstoppable. And he's been saying this for so long now that this has got to be the point where they're like, you know what? If we actually do fight this together, we might actually stand a chance.
But it's Dragon Ball Z. Or, I mean,
True.
Super, but still Dragon Ball. So, like, maybe they're going to have it work for a bit, but at the last second, Jiren's going to, not last second, but like, yeah, Jiren's going to like somehow hit Vegeta hard enough that he's going to fly away. It's going to be like, oh no, and then it's going to be like, well, I guess we're 1-on-1 again.
True.
And they'll do that for like the last 4 episodes. And boom, it'll be a big thing again.
Right.
Either way, I'm kind of, honestly, I know I should be more concerned about Jiren and Goku and Vegeta. I'm kind of more interested in what everyone else is doing right now because I'm really confused about the order of elimination. Like, who's going to be eliminated next, and who's going to be eliminated after that, and what's that going to mean for someone like, either like any of the 3, right? Because like who's going to be eliminated next? Let's say it's like 17, even though he's really strong. Apparently. But if it's 17, then what happens to Gohan and Toppa, and what happens to Frieza and Bunny Dude? Because let's say Frieza eliminates Bunny Dude, is he just going to go back into the shadows and wait?
Maybe. I really hope that we were talking about it earlier, I hope that we get Frieza fighting Toppo, because I get the feeling Toppo's, I mean, I don't want to shit on Gohan, but I don't know if him and 17 have it in them to take out Toppo. So I think they might get eliminated by Toppo. Frieza eliminates Dispo. Crossing my fingers, that has to happen because I'm so tired of Dispo. So tired of his cocky
think
accent.
It's so. Yeah, no, he's
and
very
then
cocky.
Frieza fights Toppo, and either they knock each other out, or Frieza beats him, and then he kind of slinks back into the shadows and waits for what happens between, Goku, Vegeta, and Jiren. and I'm not sure what'll happen from there.
I
But
still
that's
don't
just
know
my-
I still don't know what 17's deal is, man.
Mm.
Because like one minute it's like, oh, he doesn't feel any fatigue, so isn't he amazing? And it's like, but he's also apparently fucking strong enough to punch Goku as a god or deflect the. I know that he isn't as strong as Goku as a god, and of course, Goku reaching Ultra Instinct now. Like, I'm not saying that 17 should go one-on-one up against Jiren. No.
Right.
No. But I still don't know what his deal is, because he goes up against Toppo there, and and it seems like he can't deal with him one-on-one, or maybe just Gohan's there to help him in general. But it seems like he can't deal with him one-on-one, and I'm kind of sitting back like, wait, really? Like, you punched this random robot that seemed like
Goku
it could run
Blue.
roughshod on everyone.
Even Goku with
What was
Blue
that?
had trouble with Toppo.
That's true. Goku with Blue did, but I don't know, man. It's very.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with people's power levels anymore. I know people are getting tired, but again, 17 apparently never does. So I don't know what's going on with people's power levels. I don't know what. Like, I know we can't put an actual number on them, but I feel like power levels don't matter anymore. I feel like power levels are completely plot dependent now, and I'm sure someone on the internet is going to laugh at me and say, you fucking idiot, they always were. But what I mean by that is I never felt like at the last second Vegeta could actually, like, okay, when Frieza shot Vegeta through the heart, I never felt like it was like, no, Vegeta could just get up and go, actually, and then go another form and then beat up Frieza with Goku.
Right.
Granted, through the heart, of course. But my point is that it felt like it was like, okay, there's a big baddie. We're going to try to fight against it. Oh, God, one of us died. Thank goodness Goku is here. Rinse and repeat. We got to rinse and repeat that suit. I mean, there's so much blood on it from everyone fucking dying. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So that's how it felt. Now it feels like it's like, oh, no, this person is strong. Well, don't worry, we'll be able to team up against him. Okay, that's good. And thankfully we teamed up because this guy on our team is really strong. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, no, here's the other person. Well, he's not that strong anymore. It's like, but he was like super strong according to the canon. I know we just said that, but like, don't think about it.
Right.
Like, I know the Pride Troopers are really strong, but like, it just seems really weird to be like I know Frieza isn't gold right now. He's just chilling while fighting. I forgot his name, but he's chilling while fighting him. But thank you. He's chilling while fighting him, but it still feels like he is struggling a bit. Maybe because his guard is down a bit, but I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, to be fair, his guard is down, but I'm super confused to how Gohan.
Frieza's kind of toying with him at this point too, because Dispo throws him through the wall, and Frieza gets back up after it, and he's like, "Oh, so we're doing this."
I thought you were gonna jump off once you saw me, but all right, fine, whatever. But
I'll have to make you beg.
Pretty much, he seems like he's like, whatever. We still have some time left. What's really funny though is looking at the amount of people there. As long as someone doesn't get eliminated, in theory, Universe 7 wins automatically.
True. Which I really hope that isn't how they win. Seven
episodes, dude. That's not going to be.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it can't be.
No.
One thing that we haven't mentioned that I need to bring up because we talked about ringouts. 18, and you were talking about how 17 being kind of strange. I mean, he did get saved by 18, and it's weird. I can't necessarily say I'm happy with the ring out, but it's one of the better ones because it's 18 basically sacrificing herself, saying, "Look, get back in there." It's because I don't know. She always kind of felt like I'm not sure their ages. It may be mentioned somewhere, but she always kind of felt like the older sibling in a way, or the one who kind of looks out for her brother. She's like, yeah, no, I'll take the fall for you. You go get him, champ.
You know what? That's a good point. And I think it's a good point because
it was sweet in a way, but I don't know. I feel like 18 got some good moments, and I'm happy for that. But
yes. No,
it's
a very good point, I think, because while 18 was a little bit immature in the anime as well, it always felt like 17, at least in the History of Trunks special, was even more immature.
Yeah.
So I feel like 18 was a little bit older. At least it felt like that way, or at least a bit more mature. But yeah, so how did you feel about 18 being eliminated, one of the better ones. Do you think, though, that she needed to be, or actually, how did you feel about the tag team that she had with 17?
Oh, that was great. I wanted
Yes,
more
I feel like
of
they
that.
actually had some time.
Right, yeah.
Because I think it's the reason why, like, I'm pausing while thinking about it. It's just like I felt like for a bit we weren't going to get that tag team moment.
Right, yeah.
And it was going to feel kind of hollow. But, yeah I got to be honest, I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I'm glad at least they got that moment to feel like the tag team that we kind of remember from, History of Trunks.
Well, I mean, we don't remember them in that way in particular. But,
I mean, no, not the evil part of it, but I mean that the fact that they're an amazing tag team because they're brother and sister,
Exactly. Oh, something we should definitely mention before we kind of wrap this thing up. Piccolo's moveset. They remembered.
Yes, we finally got a Hellzone grenade.
Yes, he got the Hellzone grenade.
Special Beam Cannon is still his best one apparently, but yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. I think for me, the thing that I love so much about him doing those moves too is that he really tried to, I know we talked about, it sucks that at the last minute he got thrown off, he being Piccolo, the way that he did. I still enjoyed the fact that he was able to be a tactician during those fights, though, at least these last few, where it was like, all right, I can't see this, like, what's going on here? I don't know who is fighting us. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
but Hellzone Grenade will hit the entire... Yeah, Hellzone Grenade's going to hurt, so fuck it. And then just throws it down. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's smart.
I mean,
Gohan
even used it against one of the Namekians as well. He did an actual Hellzone Grenade.
Yes. Same thing with, what's it called? Yeah. Same thing with Gohan, where it's like, oh, hey, you know what? Let's throw some dust up, and let's make whatever this is, like actually get hit with dust so we can see what it is.
Right.
I think there was a lot of smarts. A lot of smarts. Yeah, I'm smart. No, but there was some great tactical work going on with a lot of these fighters, so it didn't just seem like it was only punchy. That's kind of what really took away from me with the giant super Titan android, because we kind of had a lot of fights over these last 8 episodes or ish. These last 5 episodes that really felt like, oh wow, we're getting some really interesting, even though I'm not a big fan of some of the powers, it felt like the moves to destroy them were actually well thought out, or at least thought out by the writers.
Right. Oh, and I can't believe I almost forgot about this. What Goku does to Jiren, how he almost rings him out. And he uses a freaking Destructo disc and walks across the pillar and uses that because he split it into multiple ones. And they flash back to when he was fighting against Krillin. And I'm like, oh, wow, I totally forgot about that. And Krillin's like, he just used my move. Guys, look, he just used my move. No, he didn't say that to anyone else, but it was just a moment where Krillin's like, you do appreciate me. And I'm like, yes, he does, Krillin. Yes, he does.
You know what made me laugh really hard, though? Vegeta just being like, yeah, I know. Like, it's just...
Jiren's behind him. Right? Yeah, I know.
But I love it, though, because, the thought was, it's just like, you know that's not going to eliminate it. Yeah, I love...
It's funny. I knew it wasn't going to do it. I almost kind of secretly hoped that worked. Kind of.
It would... Yes. Because you know what it is? I think that even though we do, okay, it's funny. I would have preferred there to be a big Ultra Instinct. I would have preferred there was a big Ultra Instinct moment before it, because then it would feel more real. Because for me, I know, like, you know, this is a shonen anime. It can't just be based off that alone. But I think it would be great character development to show Goku, even though I'm not saying that he can't be smart at certain points, but to show him just being able to win in that kind of way without it just being about having the bigger form.
Right, yeah. Because it feels like if they play Jiren up as much as they have, I mean, it doesn't, he feels like an opponent. It's like it's the first opponent that they finally come up against that it's like, no, he is just stronger than you. He has more power. You can't beat him, you know, one-on-one, face-to-face. You gotta outsmart him or catch him by surprise or do something like what Goku did.
Yeah. And that's why it's going to feel dumb when he beats him with pure power.
Right. With pure power.
Well, okay. Actually, let's be fair. Ultra Instinct doesn't rely on pure power, but it's still a new form that he's going to beat him through, that we're going to have to sit through and go, wow, I never saw this coming.
Yeah, that's why I'm really curious to see how these next few episodes play out, because it can kind of go one way or the other. Or actually, no, I can kind of see this going three different ways. Either they pull something out that we don't see coming and they execute it amazingly, or we go par the course and it's okay, but it's par, and that's just how it is, and that's fine. But or
Prince Vegeta. No.
It just or it just goes horribly because like we said, they go for the wrong reasons, and that's why he wins, you know. And
I do wonder what's going to happen. And you know, and we'll see what's going to happen in the future. But definitely, as we wrap this up, I want to say I have to talk to Tristan about how we're going to do this, but I think as the series is going to wrap up, when we get really close to the end of the series, Tristan and I might do some more special podcasts, maybe some more video ones for those guys on the radio YouTube channel, just to kind of wrap up the show in a way. Because, I mean, this is our first ever Dragon Ball series that we're actually able to talk about while it's airing and podcast on it. We couldn't have done this when we were kids, not only because podcasts didn't exist, but we were like, 8? Like 13? We didn't know each other yet. We didn't even know each other.
Right. Yeah.
So there was no way to do this when we were kids. So it's actually really cool that we were able to do this now. And obviously this will matter more in the upcoming weeks, but I want to give you guys some heads up, some warnings. So definitely check out Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel to kind of get some info on that there. And also our Keikaku Corner shows that we do there as well. We do weekly anime news shows, not only on a weekly basis, but we actually have the clips spread out throughout the week. And really fun stuff, so you can check that out over there as well. And also check out, I mentioned earlier, Those Guys Play Let's Play channel. We don't just do Let's Plays there, we do general gaming content. We actually play a lot of cool Dragon Ball Z games on there, so you can check that out. Search up Those Guys Play on YouTube, and you'll find us there. Also, you can go to our TG Productions YouTube channel, search up TG Productions, and you'll find it. And you'll also find some very fun Dragon Ball stuff that we have there as well, like Dragon Ball ASMR videos and some weird stuff like that as well. So you can check out that. And also, if you want to support us, I would love it if you guys do. It would be amazing if you guys did. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/TGProductions. And it's not just about supporting us, it's about you getting something back as well. So you could actually end up getting different, depending on what tier you donate to, you could actually tell us, hey, we would like you to do a podcast on this or on that. So you can basically say to us, we would like you to do a podcast on your top 5 Dragon Ball Z episodes, or your top 5 Dragon Ball Z attack, or top 5 Dragon Ball Z characters. It doesn't have to be a top 5. It could be a top 3, a top 10. You guys can decide what we do a podcast on in the future. Also, you can decide what podcasts we do in general, what kind of reviews. You can say, you guys haven't done a review on, a Naruto movie or a Naruto TV series, something like that. And you can say, hey, we would like you to do a podcast on this many episodes or on this episode, or what are your thoughts on this? And we can actually do different kind of Q&A style videos and stuff like that as well, either through our YouTube channels, either Those Guys on the Radio or Those Guys Play, depending on what the type of questions are. Also want to mention that you can also dictate what Let's Plays we do. You can say, I would like you and Tristan to do another episode on Ultimate Battle 22. And despite the fact that would kill me on the inside, Tristan, it would kill me on the inside. But if they're donating for it, then we're getting paid for it. So I will accept the slow death. I would accept the slow death. My wallet would also accept the slow death.
Who slow dies first, me or you?
Yeah, we'll see. It depending. It sucks because whoever it is will just end up getting a Zenkai boost, and it'll just.
Well, true. I was going to say it depends on who achieves Ultra Instinct during the fight.
There we go. That's just what it is. It's just Ultra Instinct. And then also I want to mention as well that, so that's our Patreon. You can also, by the way, buy merch from us, be it different T-shirts or stuff like that. You can actually buy it by going over to our main website, which is tgproduction.net/merchandise, or over to our eBay, which is ebay.com/USR/ThoseGuysRadio. I want to thank you so much for listening. And this isn't the last episode, obviously, but it kind of feels like it is after hearing that news about Super ending soon. But it's not. We still got a couple more weeks to go. We got a couple more episodes to go. And it's going to be very interesting. So thank you all so much for listening to another And a Saturday with us. Just love you guys so much. If you're listening to us through our YouTube channel, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you're not, you can still technically like and subscribe through Blog Talk Radio as well, which, by the way, our Blog Talk Radio account, blogtalkradio.com/ThoseGuysRadio, Those Guys on the Radio. And you can go to our different social media accounts to keep up with us in many different ways. I already mentioned our website, which is tgproduction.net. You can go to our Facebook, which is /Those Guys on the Radio, or our Twitter, which is @ThoseGuysRadio. Love you guys. Take care. Anything you want to say about the episode before we completely finish, Tristan?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Thank you all so much. Love you guys. Take care and see ya.